Newsletters are a fantastic way of staying in contact with your audience. So it's something you already do, which is good. How often do you send out a newsletter? Yeah, monthly is the best if you can, because it's that continual touch. And it's really interesting, certainly for e-commerce, the statistics say that the return on investment of newsletters is by far the best form of digital marketing. Because even though we get lots of spam newsletters, it is that continual reminder that the brand exists. So the newsletter, I would recommend an e-newsletter as opposed to a hard copy or a PDF file. Yeah. I use MailChimp. We do courses in MailChimp. I recommend MailChimp. It is free for the first 2,000 subscribers. Why wouldn't you use MailChimp? And it has the double opt-in process. It has some really nice tools to put it up on your website. But make sure that your newsletter, we've found over the years, make sure your newsletter is quite short. It's better to have them monthly and have them quite short and have links back to your website rather than to have them really, really long that if you're looking at it on a mobile, nobody can read. So what you want to do in your newsletter is you want to create a link to your blog post. So what you'll do with our newsletters is we'll have the first couple of lines of this blog post and then people click through if they want to read more. So again, driving people back to our website. I mean, newsletters are read if they're useful. So we'll add information that is useful in our newsletter. And if that information is a useful tool that we found, external tool, then go for it. You know, we put it in there. What would be better is if we'd written a blog post about that external tool and we sent them to our blog post, which then had a link to the tool. So it's thinking, yes, you want to keep them on your website where possible, but sometimes you just have to send them to the external tool because you don't have time to write an article. Yeah, you want people to read your newsletter because they think it's useful. Your newsletter can't just be information about you and your business. Again, you need to put yourself in your audience shoes. Why would they read it? They're not going to read a newsletter that just talks about what you do. They have to read a newsletter that's going to be interesting, informative and helpful. So it's creating that balance. I have found that the vast majority of newsletters are read on a mobile phone. So you have to keep them short and sharp. Which has been really interesting, that more people read the newsletter on a mobile phone than go to the website on a mobile phone. But it is that continual touch. And also, as I said, we have no control over whether the social media channels are going to be here next year. Although I think social media channels are fantastic, you've got to capture email addresses because that is your asset, that's your company. And it's something that particularly since Facebook, and we'll talk about Facebook in a minute, but particularly since it was changed, it's so much harder for pages to get seen. That I know a number of businesses who have set up as a business and just had a Facebook page. And now Facebook has changed and they're finding it really hard to be seen and they have no business. So you need to have those email subscribers. They are what your business is all about. You may have different lists, you may get people to sign up for information about the company and then information in general. So they might have two different things that are going on there, two different types of newsletters, internal and external.